Devils Monday. This is the Let's Go Devils podcast. Sunday edition on Monday. On a happy Devils Labor Day. Streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, X Live, and Twitch on the Let's Go Devils Network. I'm your host, Sam Woo, here with Scotty of SiriusXM Liquid Metal, coming to you live from the bunker in New Jersey and cross-continent to the Michael J. Fox Studios in Beverly Hills, California. Hello, everybody just tuning in. Yes, it was a kind of, we pushed the Sunday edition to Monday as, well, Scotty, I had a pretty eventful Labor Day weekend. What'd you do?
I had a kind of a more relaxing yet productive Labor Day weekend. A little bit of some fun stuff, a little jamming with some friends and good times like that, but mostly just kind of relaxed a little bit and caught up on some sleep after a pretty big week of shows out here in LA. And yeah, we had the almighty Pantera in town and Acid Bath, so it was a pretty crazy week for old Scotty. So Labor Day was a little catch-up time, but also a little productive time as well. How about you? I saw the barbecue going there, Sam Woo.
Well, this is how it all started, all right? Friday night football, high school, watched my nephew play. He had a touchdown. He had a fumble recovery on special teams. And I sent you guys that video. I don't know if you saw it yet. That open field tackle on the quarterback. So I was happy. It was a big victory. And then didn't get to bed till 1 a.m. Then 4 a.m., got in the car, picked them up. My nephews, Mrs. Wu, we went straight to Happy Valley. I drove fast, Scotty. I went above 88 miles per hour. I didn't have 1.21 gigawatts, so I didn't go back to time. Went to Penn State, tailgated, ate ice cream, the barbecue, the Sam salad. It was all there on display, posted on my Facebook. Amazing. Penn State won. They kicked the crap out of Nevada. They're a sacrificial lamb. Came home Sunday, thinking about Luke Hughes. Today, just relaxed a little bit. I know Beer Baron and Shorts Guy, they're on assignment right now. They're in bed right now because they got their first day of school tomorrow.
It's big times over there.
Yeah.
Big times.
Yeah. So we're all busy. But yeah.
We're all busy, but hopefully everyone out there had themselves a nice Labor Day weekend as well. Enjoying the 3 days off if you can. And, end of the summer, hurrah, or whatever. Except, well, where I am, the summer it's still going. It's hot as hell out over here. So, yeah. Cheers to that. And a Mets victory today, Juan Soto.
Oh,
6 RBIs.
goodness.
That was very nice. But I'll tell you what wasn't very nice, Sam Woo. Reading the reports about one young Luke Hughes. Our young Jedi, who we're hoping, turns into a Skywalker or an Ice Walker, whatever, same thing right there, and he's got a lightsaber of a hockey stick where he can make ridiculous plays. And as we know, this has been Tom Fitzgerald's number one priority. That still hasn't really been, accomplished yet after the entire summer. And there were some reports coming out that, we've heard, okay, we're looking good. Talks are just going on. No. We're not looking good, are we, Sam Woo? Because the team and the player are on two completely different wavelengths when it comes to the contract length, which we originally got reported that, that's what we're just hammering out the numbers now on the money. We're good on the years and everything. No, we're not. Not good at all. Whereas the Devils want to do either a bridge contract for 2 years or give Luke that max extension. Luke Hughes, probably along with Jack Hughes as well, and the entire Hughes family is saying, no, I want to sign for 5 years so I can awesomely be a free agent the same year as my brother Jack, which would spell potential disaster for the New Jersey Devils. And then you have Quinn Hughes, who we know has, he's got 1 more year on his contract. Then he's a free agent. Much like Luke is doing as an RFA, there's no reason why Quinn can't go out there and say, now I want a 4-year deal. And the entire Hughes family will all be free agents at the exact same time. Because if the Devils don't get, or well, for Quinn's sake, he's already signed, but whatever team he goes to next time, it's just, no, I won't sign that. Pretty much how Luke is doing it right now. If all 3 of those Hughes brothers are free agents at the same time, holy hell. Like, you're going to need, at that point, with the cap going up and the way salaries are increasing, you're going to need to have about an open $40 million or so to be able to sign all 3 of them if you want to. Because I think that would be the idea, is all 3 stay in the same place. Now, it could be that, maybe they're just trying to get everyone here into New Jersey, and they feel like, okay, if all 3 of us are here, the cap space should be there already. We just want to make sure that we all get our appropriate money for what we feel we should be paid. Because obviously the Jack Hughes contract right now, you look at it, and it's the bargain. If he signed now, I would gauge he'd probably be in the 10 million range.
Yep. Just a little minor correction. Quinn Hughes has 2 years left on his deal. He'd be
okay. So Quinn asked for a 3-year contract instead of a 4-year contract.
Yeah. Just wanted to get the facts.
Yeah. All right. That's fine. Either way, they can demand what they want, much like Luke is doing right now. And it's really putting the team at a disadvantage, because if Fitzy messes this up, he is gone. His whole job right now is riding on being able to get the Hughes boys locked up in the red and black for a long term. And like I said, maybe that's what their plan is, but they just all want to cash in at the same time. Or they're just like, the hell with this. We're going to go be free agents as a trio and see who the highest bidder is and not care where we go, because if you add all 3 Hughes brothers, your team has significantly improved in that process. If they go down to Anaheim here, all of a sudden Anaheim's a lot better team with the 3 Hughes brothers. Wherever they go, team's going to be improved. Now, you're going to need a lot of money on that cap space to get the deal done. But right now, it's looking like the Hughes family is negotiating like a family. And this is creating a lot of issues here. And like I said, maybe they're just trying to get them all 3 lined up and get the hugest chunk of change they can out of Fitzgerald. And if that's the case, totally cool. Totally cool with that. Get it. 100%. But if the idea is get them all lined up and then poof, just go out to the highest bidder, yeah, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a real, real problem. Then you're going to start, if that's the way it goes, Sam Woo, then it's going to be just potential. Think about that last year. Then the whole season's going to be like, do you trade Jack and Luke? Or do you hold on to them and hope that they come back in the offseason in free agency? That is not fun to think about. Now, maybe I'm just looking on the negative side, But I'm saying also maybe they're just trying to line themselves up to get the biggest chunk of change out of the Devils. Because as we said, Jack's deal is a bargain for his caliber of player. So we know that the cap by 5 years from now, holy hell, it's gonna be way up there. And we know that the contracts are right now they're significantly increasing already. But all three Hughes boys, they're all commanding double digits there. That's a lot of money in three people, and that's a lot of cap space if they're trying to stay together. That one team is going to be able to have to provide. Now, the Devils could be at an advantage there if they get all three before then, because obviously their money would come off the books and then hopefully just tack a little bit more onto it and bring them right back. So this has got the potential to go either gloriously or pure frigging disaster.
I got some thoughts here. I'm all over the place on my thoughts. Part of me is like, this whole thing is a turnoff, but we both understand it's a business, Scotty, and
Yep.
There's a turnoff part. Then at the same time, if you look at the 5 years, I've said this a couple times already, and Johnny Dank said the same thing. Jack is brittle. Both Jack and Luke so far are fragile. They've missed some times with injuries at a young age. You commit that kind of long term, 8 years, there's no guarantees. Even Jack, is next 5 years, there's no guarantees. There's good odds they're going to be all-stars, generational. You take a chance at it, I respect. But are you looking at Bill Agnew's?
Yeah, look at Bill. Someone hire, what's her name? Jill? Helen Hughes? What's her name? I can't remember.
Ellen.
Someone hire Ellen Hughes as GM. Oh, Mr. Hughes. I thought it said Mrs. Hughes.
Well, you know what? I'd rather have Mrs. Hughes, to be honest with you. She is the team MVP.
Maybe,
yeah. Maybe they'll help out with the contract situation. She'll say, you stay here.
One yell from mom upstairs, and that's it. The boys will straighten right up. That's it, Oh, yes, okay, yes. Mom said so.
Yep.
So maybe we do need Ellen Hughes to be assistant GM or something like. Sorry, Marty, you've been replaced. We need Ellen Hughes.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But I'm kind of, I don't even know what to think of it, Scotty, because say if the scenario 2030, both of them are free agents. The New York Rangers are going to clear all their cap space in 2029.
Absolutely.
And they're going to be like, they're going to be at the floor, and they have 1 year contracts expiring, so they're going to be like, salary cap by then would be I don't know, 100-something million, and their salary is like, their total team that they have.
Well over 100 million.
Yeah.
Well.
And then what they have on the books is like, 2 million. So they've got 98 million to spend. It's you can't say Fitz is a garbage GM, Jay Snow. You can't for this specific situation. I just think that, it is a tough, who has the leverage here? I think the Devils have the leverage here, but
you would think, but it seems the other way around.
Yeah. And asking for
and
5 years.
You're right. 5 years is a long time. We got to see how they play out and everything that happens and stuff like that. You never know in any sport how an athlete can stay, over the next 5 years. But, obviously the pedigree is there.
But it also puts kind of accountability. So if you sign Luke to 5 years, to me, it's like, okay, none of this like future crap. The future is now. You got 5 years to win this cup. You got 5 years to win this cup. If the first 3 years are bad, they're hurt, whatever, they're not productive, trade them for picks in 28, 29. I'm just trying to be, looking what the Devils' options are right now. And this is strictly business. I like Jack Hughes. I like Luke Hughes. I think the whole family is talented. I like Ellen Hughes. I like Jim Hughes. I like them all.
Future assistant GM of the Devils.
Yeah. Yeah. I love them all. I love the Hughes family. Don't get me wrong. Just keep, just make sure you're not turning over the puck so much in the neutral zone, Jack. But other than that, 2, 5, 8 year would be ideal for the owners because that's going to be a bargain. The Hughes know that's, to get an elite D guy potentially by then. Think of the contract that Luke Hughes is going to command 5 years from now if he is like Norris Trophy winning perennial,
yeah, I mean, I think he's going to be able to command that 2 years from now. So that's what worries me a little bit is that A, he's not taking the guaranteed max contract with all that money. I get it, okay, because that the salaries are going to go up a little bit. Not a little. Well, for his tier of player, it's going to go up significantly. But him also not wanting the 2-year contract, the 2-year bridge contract, because he can very easily have 2 all-star caliber years and demand a whole crap load of money. And in 2 years from now, the salary cap will also be significantly increased. And so will player salaries. So the fact that he's not taking that and he's really honing in on the 5 years, exactly when Jack's contract is, expiring, that's what gets me worried. But, on the other side of it, if that's what's going on, yeah, I mean, it may suck for a little bit, but the Devils should be able to trade them for an insane package of players, prospects, picks, everything, I mean, I'm pretty sure Quinn's going to end up here in the meantime.
And it might work out well if they sign Luke to 5 years. I mean, I don't know. Will Devils fans get Hughes fatigue?
Not if they win. If they stay healthy.
Oh yeah, if they win. Look, if Jack, Luke, and Quinn are all on the same team and they're winning, and their contracts expire in 2030, and they all leave,
it's gonna be the entire league is gonna be bidding for them. Yeah. But again, you're gonna need a huge chunk of change in that salary cap to be able to afford all 3. Because I think that's the idea, is for all 3 to, re-sign again. And it could be that they want to re-sign in New Jersey and just get the max out of it at that time and know that they can get the most money by going to free agency at the same time instead of separate. Because at that point, if Luke signs an 8-year deal, then when Jack's contract comes up, then Fitzy could very wisely use that against Jack. Be like, come on, you want to leave your brother? Come on, you don't want to leave your brother.
I mean,
if they're all free agents at the same time, there's no pressure of that.
At that point, and Steve Engel said, you're going to have to pay Nico in 2 years. You're going to try to fit all of them under one team. Again.
I mean, listen, they do crazy things in Toronto and Edmonton, where these guys have these way up their salaries. So, and then again, Toronto and Edmonton can't win anything either, but the Devils haven't either in 20 some years now. So,
I mean, the only way to really do it is to bury some of these guys in the AHL with big contracts, and then call them up on the last day of the season for the play. It's
what has to be done is our drafting has to be on friggin' point, because you're gonna have to draft people And then eventually probably going to have to say goodbye to some of them, much like the Chicago Blackhawks did for a number of years. When we're talking about Bufflin, Panarin, do you think Chicago wanted to get rid of these players? No, but they had them while they developed with that core of Kane and Duncan Keith and Tays and Seabrook and all them, but they weren't able to keep them.
Well, that's why.
Look at some of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Look at the Florida Panthers. They're not going to be able to keep that entire roster. When Matthew Tkachuk comes back, they have an issue. Putting him now on long-term injured reserve frees up some money. But I was actually reading an article. Is this like, who's going to be the casualty of that? Is it going to be an Evan Rodriguez? That was a pretty, I know he didn't have the best year, but he was good in the playoffs. Of course, they've got some guys like, the level of like a Jesper Boquist, who they can save a little money on right there. But one of those big names is going to have to get traded. It's the same situation that Tampa Bay got themselves into. Which is why we ended up with Palat on the team. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. Well, let's put it this way, Scotty. If you're Luke Hughes, it's a win-win for him. 2 years, 5 years, or 8 years. He's going to get paid eventually. So, this is, from his standpoint, I think the agents, obviously, their dad is involved, with all this.
Oh, boy. Don't send him to arbitration with Lou Lamoriello, all right? Please, we don't need another Scott Gomez situation.
Oh, you remember that? Even Scott Niedermayer. It's like I shouldn't have to beg for a new contract. I think,
yeah, exactly.
Every time we have I have to freaking beg. It's look, the team right now, as it stands right now, hopefully there's no. See, this is where it's going to get, if it ever comes down to, if he holds out. The holdout and all that.
That'll be something. I mean, I totally get Luke not wanting to do the max. I get it. But I'm surprised that he doesn't want to do the bridge contract, because he can go out there and play phenomenal for the next 2 years and then get a significant. He'll be making more than Big Brother Jack. That's for sure, if he signs that 2-year deal and then has to re-sign again. So it's just a little alarming that they're both trying to get to that 5-year mark. And Quinn can very easily do the same thing that Luke is doing and just say, no, I only want a 3-year deal. That's it. Someone will give it to him. And if the Devils don't, then Jack and Luke are probably going to be even more amped up to get out the door once that 5 years is up. Now, it's a long way down the road. We know that. But these are the negotiations that are going on right now. So this is the topics in hand.
NY Davey says, it'll get worked out. Relax. No, we're not panicking here. We're just explaining the situation. There's 2, 5, 8. What's going
Fitzy
on.
burner account over here.
Yeah. It'll get worked out. Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here. Move along.
And I wonder how much we're looking
Jay,
at.
yeah, he's an RFA. He can't go anywhere. That's why they're trying to sign. The issue is if he signs a 5-year deal, he will be a UFA. And then he can go wherever he wants. If he signs the 2-year deal, then he's going to get a significant raise, obviously. And then in 2 years, the salary cap will be even higher, and he can probably sign a long-term deal for like $10, $11 million. But he's saying, nah, I'll want to sign a 5-year deal and see what happens after that.
Well, and plus the 2-year deal, And guess who's off the books in 2 years? I wouldn't even have to buy his jersey. A lot.
No, Michael Hay hit it right there.
Going home.
I think that's what. Yeah. That's the yes.
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't we trade for Quinn? Get Luke under a 5-year contract. We got a 5-year window. Hopefully we'll win a cup or two, and then trade him to Detroit and get like 21st round draft picks for the next 20 years. I call it a day. And then when they come play the Devils, you know, as Detroit Red Wings, we'll just throw octopus at them.
They did that. I wouldn't be as mad if they went to another particular team. But
if they went to the Rangers, if they went to the Rangers, let me tell you something. It will be ugly. It would be very ugly if they went to the Rangers. It would be an ultimate betrayal.
Oh, it would be ugly. Ugly.
That scenario, if they bolted 2 of them, let's say 3 of them, bolted the New York Rangers in 2030. That Devils-Rangers game at The Rock.
Oh, man.
It's ugly. It's going to be Hughes
Battery
Battery
that would be ugly.
Day. Remember Battery
Day? Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
It would be ugly. I don't even know what to do.
We shall see.
I would literally get on the helicopter and go on the helicopter pad and just force Harrison Blitzer to sell the team if the Hughes brothers.
I don't get the feeling that the Hughes brothers would. I don't know. I don't want to say anything and put anything out there in the world.
You know what's going to happen? They'll probably want, make them minority owners of the team. The Hughes family. Just 1%. Give them 1%.
Oh, man. Michael, hey, what are you talking about, Parise?
Oh, he's basically saying at the time that Parise told Michael Hay that he's staying, but he went home to Minnesota.
Well, I know because I did talk to Zach a few times, just running into him up at my job and stuff like that.
Wow! So, please tell.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's from Zach's perspective. I told him, I was just like, whatever you do not go to the Rangers. That's what I told him, and he was just like, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
And he said no. What he said, he was just like, I'm either staying in New Jersey or I'm going back home to Minnesota. He's like, it's one or the other. But I know. I don't want to say. I'll talk to you in private about it, but I think there was a very important person in Zach's life who was much rather preferred to be away from the spotlight in the quiet areas of Minnesota as opposed to living in the
and that's
New Jersey, New York area.
Yeah. And then once he got to Minnesota, everything fell apart. It's like, oh, thank God I got out of there when I did. Because it all collapsed.
And then, yeah, I mean, and I think that's another part of it too, is that, Vanderbeek demanded all that money be spent on Kovalchuk instead of, Zach's friend over there. And they were able to do that in Minnesota. If they did that, they brought in Suter instead of Covey, I don't think there was any doubt that Zach was coming back. But that's all ancient history now. But I don't think Zach was ever. I know he gets a lot of crap from Devils fans, but like I said, when I spoke with him, he was pretty straightforward with me about it. So
I think where we had the problem was had he said I'm gone on July 1st, by July 4th that year, Scotty, all the marquee free agents were gone. You can't
Yeah,
have
I
a,
mean,
you know, that I think
I, bel-
that's the only hiccup. Going home, his dad got hired by the Wild. Going home, I don't have a problem with any of that. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with him personally. I just think that it's like, or even like when Islander fans went crazy with Tavares. You told us you were going to stay, but you lied to us. When he went back to Toronto. You knew all along, John. You knew all along. You could have told us.
well, I mean, if you're an Islanders fan, you should at least be happy because you knew he wasn't going to win anything. He's going to Toronto. Yeah, I don't know. I never had an issue really with Zach. I know a lot of people hated him and booed the hell out of him and everything like that. But I always thought he was a stand-up dude. I thought he was a class A devil. He scored some memorable goals for the team. I wish it worked out, but I think those are just the two components that really came into it was family back in Minnesota and then the Devils spending all that money on Kovalchuk and not having it for his buddy Suter.
And also remember, at that time period, there were rumors that the Devils were having financial problems. They're on after the lockout. Checks, I don't know if checks were bounced or they weren't getting direct deposits. And the NHL had to step in. I mean, this is well documented. And Gary Bettman was none too pleased, especially when they're giving out these big contracts and they can't.
Oh my God, you remember before direct deposit and you had to like take your paycheck over to the bank and everything like that and get it and wait for your money to be, clear and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah. Well, the players.
Wow, we're old. We're old.
The players, they're like teachers. They don't work over the summer, so they don't get paid. You know what I mean? Anyway. Tavares.
But yeah, so we'll see. Like I said, I never had an issue with Zach. I get it. Some people do, whatever. But I think he should be welcome back. And when they do things, what are you gonna have? Are you gonna have Zajac and Langenbrunner get cheered, and then you're gonna boo Parise? Come on, he was a big part of the franchise for a good number of years there. I don't know. I don't see if we accepted Scott Gomez and Bobby Holik back, they were the bigger traders to me because they went over to that other franchise on the other side of the river.
Yeah.
Those are the two that really hurt.
Totally.
McLean as well.
That hurt.
Bruce, didn't like seeing Bruce over there, even though it was for a short amount of time. But
Bruce explained.
That's the business side of it.
Yeah, Bruce explained it very well. He had a heart-to-heart with Lou about that, but it was more of staying in the area for the kids so they can continue their schooling. And, as a family man, you got to do what you got to do. I mean,
I don't have a problem with that. It was just, for me as a fan, those two hurt as because, when I started watching the Devils, they were established with the team already, so those were the OGs. So to see them, and I get that's a business part of it there. I understood that one, but Holik and Gomez, I mean, that just killed me because I loved Bobby Lou. I love that crash line. I loved Randy McKay. He's one of my all-time favorite players. And Holik, and to have him and Gomez, Gomer was so good, from his rookie season. And just to see him jump like that. And then, you learn about the whole arbitration process that they went through with Lou trying to, Gomez was represented by his dad. And then they go to arbitration. And it's just like, this is why your son shouldn't get paid this much money by me.
Hey, by the way, big shout out to Greg Wyshynski. He did an article on ESPN.com. Good friend of the podcast, Greg Wyshynski. We've had him on a couple times. He did the greatest, draft picks in their draft order. Like Mario Lemieux was first overall. He's the best first overall pick, I guess. I wouldn't say all time, but for the last, 50, 75 years.
I'd say all time.
Yeah.
I'd go with it. For me personally, if Super Mario didn't get sick, I think there's a potential that Ovechkin would have been breaking Lemieux's record instead of Gretzky's. That's just my opinion.
I would agree with that, and I know a lot of people would debate me on this, but I still think Mario Lemieux is the greatest center of all time over Gretzky.
Oh.
It just
because, I mean, he was everything. He did everything.
I mean, he saved a franchise. He
Yeah.
took ownership of a franchise, saved it, and was able to win more cups as an owner, which is also incredible. He
But on the ice, I mean, think about it. Everything he did as a player, though. I mean, he torched the Devils all the time. And I just remember going to games when I was a kid, seeing him and Yager out there on the ice, and it was just, you knew something like magical in a bad sense because it was going to happen against the Devils, but you knew you were going to see something really special on the ice every time Mario Lemieux was in town. So
for me, wondered what would have been like if the Devils didn't win all those games and back in 83, 84, and the Penguins weren't tanking. What life would have been like? That's a podcast for another day. What life would have been like had Mario Lemieux been the first overall pick for the New Jersey Devils? Because it changed everything.
Oh, yeah. It would have changed everything. Really would have.
I can guarantee you one thing. I bet you Lou Lamoriello would have pissed him off.
Oh, 100%. He probably would have been out the door the first chance he got.
Yeah, but Lou would have
been signing elsewhere.
Lou would have flipped him for like 10 first-round picks, future Hall of Famers, But in that article,
he would have traded him for Michael Ryder. I think that's what he would have.
So, in that article, at number 18th overall of all time, he put Ken Danico.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he compared. I forgot who else was in the running for 18th overall, but Ken Danico. Again, you can't put a price on loyalty and effort and heart. And that's why Ken Danico, I mean, in the analytic age.
How many games he played?
Oh, yeah. He was the epitome of an ice hockey player. Played with a broken hand. Played, up until 2003, he played in every Devils playoff game, in franchise history. He has the respect of the fans. Command. I mean, he knew how to play defense. Of course, he had, some issues during his career. He won the Masterson Trophy as well. Again, it goes unappreciated sometimes, but the heart and soul of your team. I mean, he was a big part of those 3 cups and 4 appearances. Of the franchise.
Oh, yeah.
And to get recognition, 18th overall, first round, on Greg Wyshynski's article. I mean, Greg is is a Devils fan.
He is a Devils fan, yep.
But he compared it to others that were on the 18th spot, and he gave it to Ken Danico. I thought it was pretty cool.
I mean, Dano is solid. I mean, he's literally called Mr. Devil for a reason. Because he was on the ice so much. I mean, it's 20 years that he played all for the Devils. And it's not like he was just taking up, garbage time or something like that. He was out there against the tops in the league. He was the one that was going out there protecting so many people and sacrificing his body, blocking so many shots. I mean, the NHL, what it was in the 80s and 90s, is not what it is today. It was a lot more brutal. So, yeah, I mean, that's a great one. I mean, for everything that he did in his career, he's a 3-time Stanley Cup winner.
Yep. 20th overall.
I think that's a fine a place right there.
20th overall, Marty Brodeur, and he had some competition at that 20th spot. He had some competition. I forgot who it was.
Marty wasn't a number 1 overall.
20th overall.
20th overall.
Yeah, 20th overall. He got.
Oh, I see what's happening here. Okay.
Yeah. So his draft placement, 20th overall, he had some competition there, but at the end of the day, when you have rules changed because of your skill set, not many players can say it. I mean, in the NBA, you could say Wilt Chamberlain had the rules changed. All
you got to do is look at the win total.
Yeah.
Just look at that win total, man. That's it.
Yep.
That's all that needs to be said.
Yeah.
And you can say, well, he played a lot of games. Yeah. That's how durable he was. And how in shape and how with it he kept himself throughout the season, and the mental focus that is required to play that many games as a goaltender.
Yeah.
He was one of a kind. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, go to ESPN.com, take a look at the list. Yager, I believe, had 5th overall. Scott Niedermayer had 3rd overall as well on his list. The best 3rd overall pick in the NHL draft, Scott Niedermayer. And how lucky
you can't really argue with a lot. I mean, they're Hall of Famers. Like, it's hard to argue with some of that stuff.
Yeah. So, but in that list, you had like Sidney Crosby, the 1st overall, Alexander Ovechkin, 1st overall, but still Mario Lemieux, even Connor McDavid, 1st overall. Mario Lemieux, still his legacy is still alive and well.
I mean, Mario did everything. He wasn't just like a goal scorer, though. I mean, like, he did everything. And he played that center position so well. And he was a big body, too, that went in there and, like, got into the corners and stuff like that. He wasn't just hiding, waiting for the puck to come to him, Like, he went and got it. And when the puck was on his stick, everyone on the opposing team was just like, oh, shit.
Great hands.
What's going to happen?
Great hands. Mr. Automatic. I mean, it was virtually automatic when he was in the slot and he had the puck. And it was in the net. It was like magic, Mario Lemieux.
Yeah. No, he really was. And it was something to see live back in the day. If anyone got the chance, I know I was lucky enough to see it a number of times.
I was lucky enough to see it live where it was Mario Lemieux and Jaromir Jagr on a breakaway, 2-on-0 on Brodeur, and he stopped. I believe he stopped. I don't know which one. Stopped both of them. It was a shot, rebound, save. It was spectacular. There's videos. There's got to be a video out there on YouTube. And they used to play that on the jumbotron at the Meadowlands. Just one and then the other, and just that was an amazing sequence. I'll tell you.
Bring them back. Bring that back. Put it on the jumbotron. Let's go. But anyway, yeah, that's the big news going on here in the old world of the Devils right now. Just the Luke Hughes situation. What's going to happen? We're getting close to getting some when does the preseason game start? It's pretty soon, isn't it?
In a couple weeks, we got prospect
2 weeks.
tournament. Yeah, we got prospect tournament coming up very soon up in Buffalo. I believe it's this weekend.
Is it this weekend?
Yeah, I believe it's this weekend up in Buffalo. The prospect tournament. Don't quote me on that, but I'm just going by memory.
Saturday. Oh no, I don't know if that's the Saturday. September the 21st.
Prospect
Devils
tournament?
Rangers. No, Devils Rangers first preseason game. Then you got the Islanders on the 23rd. Got the Islanders again on the 26th. Got the Caps on the 28th. Oh, we got a split squad there. Senators also on the 28th, and then one last one against the Rangers on October the 2nd.
All right, Prospect Challenge, sorry. It's September 11th through the 15th. It's not this weekend. Sorry about that. So I'll be looking at that.
I got to look to see the what is the training camp. September 10th, rookies reporting first, followed by full roster joining September 17th.
Well,
so we got about 2 weeks. 2 weeks. A little more.
We'll start season 9.
Yeah. 2 weeks for the oops, I just hit the wrong button there. 2 weeks for the rookies, and then 3, I guess. A little more, 17th. So, it's September 1st already.
Crazy, right? Summer flew. I can't believe hockey season's upon us. We got college football going on. NFL starts next Sunday. And
yeah. Should be a lot of fun.
It's gone by fast.
It's always a good time of year. Baseball playoffs, football, hockey. It's always fun. Basketball, if you're into it. I don't really follow a lot of basketball, but yeah. Premiership League, if you follow EPA over there in England. Get your Saturday morning and Sunday mornings going there.
Wings eating contests, that season as well. Final thoughts, Scotty?
What's that?
Want to do final thoughts or?
Yeah, let's do final thoughts here. My final thoughts is I just really hope we get this settled with Luke sooner rather than later. Don't want it to drag into training camp. Don't want it to be a distraction. Don't want to hear constant questions being asked to the team. Oh, where's Luke? Have you talked to Luke? What's going on with Luke? Let's just focus on hockey.
Yeah.
And being an improved team after last year. That's the most important thing. Stay healthy, be tough, and let's get it done, boys. Put the contracts aside, and let's focus on playing some winning hockey. That's my final thought.
And I concur. I agree. Look, I think we're going to have a good time this year. The Let's Go Devils podcast, doing a lot of work behind the scenes. Scotty, I'll talk to you off air, what I did today for the podcast. We got some surprise events going on. We're doing a wedding cocktail hour because the Let's Go Devils podcast be your cocktail hour podcast at your wedding, bar, bat mitzvah. Got a sweet 16. Yeah, we can do it. College graduation, high school graduation, divorce parties. We do it all. Have the Let's Go Devils podcast travel and do a Devils podcast at your event. Anyway, final thought, the Luke Hughes thing, just let it play out. Knowing the Devils, they probably have a deal done, and they're just dragging us along just to keep themselves current in the news. And then we'll find out, you signed a deal. See ya. I think it'll be okay.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Well, want to thank all those tuning in. I'll drop the podcast in about 20 minutes. Keep it here, the Let's Go Devils podcast, because Season 9 is upon us. That's right. Season 9 is upon us. We're going to have State of the Fan address on Wednesday. Possibly Woo reports. I'll be down in Florida this weekend, down on Saturday. So I may take a little hiatus, mini hiatus. But we'll talk about that off air. But keep it here, keep it real. Till next time, let's go Devils.